The film begins in a train station in the Japanese city of Aomori, where a train conductor, Takaichi, greets some high school students on a school trip. Then, they all get on the train, Hayabusa number 60, where Takaichi introduces himself to assistant conductor Fuji and shows him around the job. Soon the train begins its journey towards Tokyo, and here, several key characters are introduced: a female politician named Kagami, a YouTuber named Todoroki, a high school student named Yuzuki, and her homeroom teacher, Sakura. Soon after, a man calls the railway company's headquarters with startling information. He has set a bomb on the train that just left. To make his threat believable, he tells the victim that he has also set a bomb on freight train number 2047 that will detonate if the train's speed drops below 5 kilometers per hour. Initially, the staff do not trust him, but as soon as they notify the station manager, the freight train suddenly bursts into flames, causing the staff to be shaken and horrified. This incident is a reminder to all of the infamous train number 109 case that occurred in nearly the same manner years ago. The railway headquarters general manager instructs all trains to be evacuated except Hayabusa number 60 and assigns the chief of the command center to manage the crisis. The train keeps on moving forward and the command center tells the driver, Chika, that there is a bomb threat on the train and asks her not to slow down below 100 kilometers per hour. They also talk to Takaichi and request him not to let the passengers know about the bomb and to skip the next station because of operational reasons. Instructing them to do so, Takaichi tells the passengers that the train will not stop at the next station, but will go through it. In the meantime, the terrorist contacts the command center and asks for 100 billion yen for the information on how to defuse the bomb. The authorities claim they don't have that much money, so the perpetrator says this is only 1,000 yen per Japanese citizen and insists they take the money in any way. This puts them in a dire predicament as the Prime Minister's assistant arrives and tells them that they will not negotiate with terrorists. The train returns to the station, and Takaichi tells them about the bomb threat, leaving the passengers in a state of panic. A passenger comes into the conductor's compartment to gripe, and Kagami, a female politician, attempts to soothe him. However, the passenger instead insults her and calls her a sugar mama, as it is revealed that Kagami was involved in a scandal years ago. However, before it gets worse, Takaichi intervenes to solve the problem. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister gives a press conference and states that the government will not negotiate with terrorists in any way. This enrages the terrorist and he now uploads a video of the bombs he has planted. The explosives are fixed to the underside of the train and cannot be removed while it is moving at high speed. The video is played nationwide, even for the passengers on the train, leading to even more panic. Consequently, the YouTuber Todoroki takes a microphone from Fuji and speaks to the passengers, saying that the government doesn't care about them and that they must deal with it themselves. He then launches a crowdfunding initiative to raise funds to defuse the bomb. He places it in his profile and the passengers start to share it, but it doesn't make much money, and they are frustrated. The officials at the command center discuss this case and recall a similar attempted train bombing that occurred 50 years ago in 1975. It's that dreaded 109 incident, and some of them start to think that the two incidents could be linked. Meanwhile, on the train, some passengers identify a man named Goto, who was the former president of an airline company. He is revealed to be the one who crashed a poorly maintained helicopter into an elementary school, killing 8 children, making him one of the most hated men in the nation. Some of the passengers start to think that he is the cause for their crowdfunding campaign to not be successful, and they attack him while broadcasting the whole thing online. In this, a desperate Goto requests the nearby high school student Yuzuki to press the emergency buzzer. Everyone in the train is in fear of pressing it and setting off the bomb. A shaken Yuzuki presses it anyway, but it is soon revealed that the buzzer is actually just an intercom and only rings Takaichi's smartphone. Then Takaichi takes the unconscious Goto to another room and requests the assistance of a doctor aboard to keep him stable. At the command center, a detailed rescue plan for Train 60 is quickly prepared and put into action. The train zooms through Iwate Prefecture, giving Takaichi instructions one by one, and he passes them on to the crew and electricians. The first stage is a special high-speed train which travels at the same speed as Train 60 and is parallel to it. Tools and equipment are safely transferred between both trains, which are carefully synchronized. A rope and pulley system is installed between the crew compartments so that essential tools can be transferred between the trains without stopping. Takaichi and a number of passengers assist in the arrival of the equipment before the support train slowly moves off. In the second phase, an electrician installs inside Train 60 to fine-tune the electrical and brake systems to ensure that the emergency brakes are not triggered during operation. The train is then carefully divided into 2 sections by disconnecting the coupling between the 2 cars. This separates the back car, 9, which contains the bomb. Once the disconnection is accomplished, Car 9 explodes as everyone is in a state of shock. Finally, a rescue train comes up on a nearby track and catches up with Train 60. Both trains run side by side for a long enough period of time that a temporary bridge can be set up between them. One by one, passengers and crew carefully cross over to the rescue train. Most of the passengers are quickly evacuated. As the rescue mission comes to a close, the high school teacher Sakura realizes that Yuzuki is missing. She comes back on the rescue train to Train 60, and Kagami and her secretary follow her, along with Todoroki. Goto has awakened on Train 60 and is causing trouble on the train, with Takaichi and Fuji trying to keep their heads above water. Kagami intervenes and decisively puts an end to Goto. Once the chaos has subsided, Takaichi, under the tutelage of Fuji, starts to usher people to the rescue train. A fault in the electrical adjustment triggers the emergency brakes on the rescue train. The workers attempt to pull the connection between the trains, but the ropes get entangled and they are unable to pull the train apart. This causes Train 60 to start slowing down prematurely. The driver makes a desperate decision to force a separation by using the emergency brakes and impact, trying to break the connection between the two trains in order to avoid a dangerous situation. The plan works, but Fuji is seriously injured by flying pieces of metal caused by the impact. Soon, they discover a shaking Yuzuki in Train 60, and out of 349 crew members and passengers, 340 are rescued, leaving 9 people in Train 60. The Prime Minister's assistant calls them at the command center and tells them to do the same rescue operation, but the manager tells him that it is impossible now. Yuzuki tells them she will call her father and leaves the group. She then calls her father, Mr. Onodera, who has been worried about her, and assures him that she is fine. Onodera is revealed to be a former police officer who was involved in the original train bombing case, and he feels the bombers are seeking revenge. But all of a sudden, Yuzuki insults him and tells him that she knows he didn't kill the suspect in the original case because the man had committed suicide. To her surprise, Yuzuki tells the audience that she herself set the bomb to destroy the bullet train. Onodera does not believe her and asks how she, a little girl, could make a bomb. Yuzuki tells him to check a cabinet in his house, and when he does, he is shocked to find a bomb inside. Then, Yuzuki presses a button on her cell phone, causing the house to explode and killing her father as well. She has accomplished her mission and returns to the group and informs the command center in front of Takaichi and the rest that she is the one responsible. Everyone is left in shock as she says she will now tell them how to defuse the bomb, as she has already done what she wanted. Then she shows him some terrifying information. The bomb will only deactivate if she dies. It's linked to a heart monitor in her body, she says, and the bomb will only turn off when it doesn't sense a heartbeat. If the authorities call for proof, Yuzuki just hangs up the phone, and the passengers are all stunned. After that, the police start digging up Yuzuki's past and discover that her mother died a long time ago. It is also disclosed that her father, Mr. Onodera, was a police officer in the infamous train incident. In that instance, the suspect had actually blown himself up, but police officials covered up the facts and made Onodera out to be a hero who killed the man. As the years went by, Onodera started to brag about this miracle, boasting that he saved the bullet train and numerous lives. But he is also shown to have been abusive towards his wife and even Yuzuki. The police then break into Yuzuki's social media page and find a series of conversations between her and an older man who assisted her in making the bomb. They promptly locate him and go to his home to arrest him. In the interim, the train is now coming towards Tokyo, still carrying the bomb. There is no other way to save their lives. Yuzuki tells the passengers, who must kill her. Takaichi thus makes up his mind before he walks toward her and tries to strangle her, but he eventually stops and embraces her instead, leaving Yuzuki very disappointed. The older man who assisted Yuzuki is being interrogated by the police elsewhere, and it is revealed that he is the son of the man behind the 1975 train incident. He tells about how cruel Mr. Onodera was to Yuzuki and how he treated her as if she was worthless because she was not a boy. He says that he is doing this not only out of sympathy but also as a form of revenge for the dishonoring of his father after his death. He also tells them that the other bombs on Train 60 are set in cars 1, 4, and 6. The authorities soon pass the new information on to Takaichi, and a final emergency plan is proposed. Connect the Tokyo line to a nearby track so that Train 60 can be separated before the bomb explodes. To carry out the operation, the commander of the control center gives a clear set of instructions. He instructs the other passengers to shift towards the rear of the train as the engineers are readying themselves to separate the front car, where the bomb is located. The idea is to separate Train 60 from the train while it is still in motion and take it to the Washinomiya Maintenance Center. Despite the expected impact, the passengers are willing to accept the plan and take precautions by securing their seats and collecting as much as they can to protect themselves. The train is operated as normal, and as the train arrives at the Washinomiya maintenance area, the tracks are switched in a controlled sequence, which causes the train to split into two parts. The front cars, 1 to 6, are separated from the rear cars and taken onto a different track, with the rear cars, 7 and 8, moving forward on the main track. The front part of the train slows down and the 3 bombs in the front of the train explode in succession, destroying that portion of the train. In the meantime, cars 7 and 8 continue to move and cannot be stopped immediately. Car 8, with passengers and crew on board, collides with the already derailed car 7, resulting in significant damage. It then hits a roadside crash barrier and finally comes to a stop. The rescue team goes into the 8th car and finds all occupants are still alive, relieving and bringing joy to the command center. Takaichi observes the rescue from above the elevated tracks at Washinomiya Signal Station. A police officer questions Yuzuki, who is in an ambulance and has been arrested. During their discussion, he discovers that she hates people and the world very much. So the officer presents her Todoroki's crowdfunding page, which has already surpassed its goal. Then he says that people aren't as bad as she thinks. Meanwhile, Fuji is taken to the hospital, while Takaichi and the driver, Chika, comfort each other at the scene. The movie then ends with both of them being warmly welcomed and applauded by the rest of the team. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, leave a comment about your favorite movie, and we will make it next. Thanks for watching.